a lot better.
What?
It's a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Maximum Chillage Podcast, Season 2. I don't know the episode. My name is Chewy Sanchez. With me, as always,
I'm Tiki Mike.
we had to say sorry once again for the long leave of absence. I'm going to blame it on Tiki Mike, though. I'm going to blame it on you, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
About 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I was starting to ask you, do you own a computer?
Yeah.
A laptop? Your lack of response to the stuff that I was sending you made me seem like you were out. Because I geeked out on...
I responded. I said,
I geeked out
do
on,
not have a laptop. I
started to geek out on equipment and stuff, and I'm like looking up podcasting equipment. It's like a Friday night. I'm just bored. I'm just sitting on the couch. Katie's probably playing Call of Duty, and I'm just not doing a damn thing. And I find this cool little unit, an all-in-one podcasting unit that we probably don't need. We're probably beyond that. But Mike doesn't reply to it, so I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should back off that guy. Maybe he's not into it as he once was.
No.
So that's why I've
all right.
I just didn't continue with the conversation, bro.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Since we did respond, am I taking pictures of myself?
I'm sure the camera's not on.
It flashed.
You should turn my camera off.
Well, I didn't turn it on, bro.
It should be off.
Oh,
Thank you.
Anyways, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna argue about it. I'm in a chill mood. I responded. I know I responded. But
you responded to the should you have the computer thing. But then you don't remember me sending you some products. Like for me, like I'm always wanting to buy new shit. Yeah. I think I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked new shit. New shiny shit's always been my favorite thing. Especially when it comes to fucking equipment. I have like this equipment fetish.
Yeah.
I'm holding a microphone that I haven't used in years.
But is it a good mic?
Oh yeah. This is
what's the quality level of this mic?
This is a 10 out of 10. This is a Shure PG58. If you want to look it up at home, if you're playing the Chewy's equipment at home, Shure PG58. I'm recording right now on a Blue Spark microphone.
Is that top of the line?
It's the company itself is. This is one of the lower levels. You're on one of the lower level mics, and I kind of like the way yours sounds better. That's the beauty of equipment. You can sometimes get away with cheaper shit and it sounding better. I can geek out on that all day long. I won't though.
I don't know, man. You know me. I hate the ghost in the machine half the time, you know?
What does that mean? I don't
the
know
ghost
what that
in the
means.
machine. That computer life is going to turn sentient.
This is fucking analog equipment.
Yeah, bro. But what's it being controlled by? That guy that's staring straight at me.
Staring at my computer.
Recording this. You know? You put a sticker in front of the little camera.
Well, I broke it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so about a month. You see all the stuff that's above it?
Yeah.
All above it?
Oh, yes.
So about a month into owning this computer, I spent a pretty penny on this setup. This whole setup cost a good amount of money. And I decided to put bobbleheads on a shelf over this. One of the bobbleheads fell from the very top and fell right onto my computer, smashed the camera. And my thought was, well, fuck it. I mean, it's for the better. I don't want that camera on anyway. But that camera keeps me up at night, dude. I honestly believe that people hack into that thing and see me sleep.
Probably.
But I kind of get off to it, dude.
Yeah, saucy.
I kind of get off to the fact that if you find me attractive enough to sit and watch me for hours, you can do it.
If you
more
see
power
me,
to you.
You know, fucking middle of the night, body contorted, fucking my gut hanging out, and fucking just my sleep apnea acting all up, and you just get off on that ASMR of my fucking snoring, fuck, you know. You got a kink. You got a kink, and I don't judge it.
Yeah, you got a kink, and I mean...
Hey, we were talking about that earlier. This podcast tends to go towards fetish and kink topics.
Dude, I'm saying I've been wanting to to niche down. If you want to make a fucking
I like our
fetish,
pop culture references a lot of the time,
fetish,
but I mean, we do have a lot of fringe conversation going on.
There's a lot of conversations that you guys aren't very privy to.
Yeah,
very X-rated.
I mean, I'm you know, I'm pretty free and loose on here. You know, I think.
I hold back open. A lot.
No. Well, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
But I know that between you and I will say our car conversations are a lot different than these conversations.
I've always wanted to put a GoPro in the car.
And what I want to do
Didn't I try that one time and didn't work?
Check this. I want to set up a Patreon.
Oh,
it's going to be...
Oh, my God, dude.
It's going to be the Car Talk Premium. The premium
that's
content.
For real, dude.
Like... You hear this shit, it's just going to be a webcam that's fucking posted up in the fucking car, or a GoPro, and it's going to just play exactly what we had a conversation to on our way to grab some fucking pizza.
Grab some fucking pizza. I've been trying to eat healthy, but when I'm around Michael, I'm like, just started.
Hey, but you know, I didn't suggest it.
I even called Michael Dad earlier.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I did it. I just to gloss over that as it didn't happen.
It happened.
And you brought it up.
Yeah.
I didn't. I would have. It was just weird.
That's part of the premium content that you're missing out.
You would have seen us. You could have gone back and paused and reversed it and watched it in slow-mo and see my eye reaction of me realizing he just said, "Yeah, Dad." It's just like, ooh, weird.
Go to patreon.com maximum challenge.
I go to the left corner.
How much would you charge for that?
No, I'm not going to bring it up to him. And then it just goes to you saying it and me just nodding. Yeah, I heard it. You said it. Hey, you know what?
How much would you charge for that?
Honestly,
legit, I think we can charge $10 a month for that.
Yeah, $9.99 for.
That's too cheap.
But we would have to. No,
you gotta value yourself
that's the thing.
more.
Well, here's the thing: we don't really hang out
sticker packs.
too much. How often would we
have? Do you ever mail out our stickers?
Oh
my God! That's why everybody hates us,
I just found it. I just found the bag.
Everybody fucking.
I just found the bag with the prepared shit, and so those are going out this week, guys. If you guys are still interested in those stickers. Anybody else that's newly interested in the stickers, expect a 4-month wait, and we'll get them out to you. But send us your info.
What were you saying about that Patreon thing?
What?
I listened to this stupid podcast, Creepy. If you never listened to Creepy, I brought it up. I think
you brought it up.
Before.
Yeah.
The guy in the beginning, all he gives you is a shout out.
Oh yeah.
He says your name.
Yeah. There's people that like that.
If you want us to say your name on this podcast. My Cash App name is $Chewy719. Cash App me $5. That's $Chewy719. I'll put your name on the beginning of this podcast next week. I promise you. Just Cash App us $5. That helps us stay hydrated throughout this
Honestly,
podcast.
You know what? I would be fine. As our compensation for doing a podcast is just getting, a couple free meals and a couple of fucking sodas, man. Fucking waters. Fucking a little brewski. That'd be cool.
So what were we talking about before that? Our premium content.
Yeah, what other premium content? Because there would have to be different tier levels,
Maybe
man.
merch. That's how you get the merch. Unlock the merch.
Unlock the merch.
I see a lot of people with Patreons these days.
A lot of people, yeah.
A lot of people on Instagram have them.
Yeah.
Just regular people.
Yeah. Wait, like regular people?
Yeah.
Like,
there's a girl. There's a girl that I follow who I don't know if it's Patreon or it's another form of sponsoring, but I think it's for premium content.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's for nude stuff. So I don't know what they're getting from it. Photos of this girl that are not nude. It says explicitly.
I mean, but she's just a normal person,
regular person.
She's not a
lingerie model or anything.
She doesn't make appearances at places.
No, she's not that popular. She's a regular person.
She's just
I've been following her for years.
And
she kind of blew up on the internet, just like people started following her, and she just decided, I'm going to try to monetize on this. So, I mean, I feel like if she can do it, we can do it. Let's start a Patreon. That's That even if it's comical.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'd get into some sketchy tax areas. I wouldn't be reporting shit.
What are you talking about?
I don't know how Patreon
Do you think they really
works,
care?
Man. Yeah, man.
Do you think they're really going to
You don't
audit
think
you? All your
government
fucking
wants their
$30,000 a year
cut,
you make?
The government
They're not
wants
going
their
to. They're not auditing
bruh.
you, Michael.
The government wants their.
Ask your daddy. Where's the IRS? Say, Dad, are they going to audit me? He's going to be like, nope.
Nah, they don't. They don't really chase anything under like $250,000.
No.
I can't afford the manpower of somebody fucking devoting their time and money to. I mean, when they say money, just their hourly wage.
Are you telling me that I don't have to pay taxes?
I mean, after a long period of time,
then it'll
catch up.
It'll
to you.
accumulate to a $250,000.
No, not even that. It just becomes more apparent. I mean, they will search for things that are under $250,000 if it's apparent, like it's blatant, and like, no, this is obviously tax fraud.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something that they're gonna have to devote a week into, like somebody doing research and looking up shit, nah, they won't fucking do that.
Have you found yourself
wanting to evade taxes?
Well, playing with your taxes a little bit more, knowing that your dad works there and that you know the laws and shit?
No, you know what? I don't know the fucking laws, and I don't do my taxes. I let that old man do it. That's the one thing he's good for. Once a year is for me to hand him my W-2s and let that guy spend 15 minutes on it.
Dude, ever since that I've had to do my taxes and shit, they've never been complicated.
Yeah,
but now they're starting to get complicated. For me, I'm starting to have now last year I had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
So there's the 2 jobs, then I have this fucking job, and then there's the commission on the job, and then all this fucking different things.
Okay, yeah, that would get complicated.
I'm not trying to fuck with it, so I just pay somebody to do it for me.
Where do you go? Do you have like an actual guy, or do you have go to like H&R?
Just use my dad's guy. My dad has a guy.
Yeah.
That I just go to. She's actually a woman. Not a guy at all. Actually a woman. Tax woman.
Is that an antiquated phrase now?
Tax
you got a guy?
Yeah. I mean, it always has been.
I know.
I have a guy, but it's not really a guy. It's a woman.
Oh, shit. New world.
It's not a new world.
I think I just became a little bit more woke, Chewy.
So, this past weekend, Mike said we got to record. Mike says, I've been listening to these some local podcasts that aren't necessarily good.
Yeah.
And he says that we're so much better than them, which we are.
I don't know.
So I told Michael, I was like, Mike, I want you to dig deep. I asked you to dig deep into something and just fucking become a nerd about it. And you didn't really understand what that. Did you find out what that meant? Did you figure it out?
Well, I guess you said nerd out about it. I guess you just meant like know the subject.
Know the subject really well, like be a nerd about it.
I see. I didn't get that. I thought you were trying to get me to get into my nerd interests, which I have plenty of very niche.
She was telling me all about this fucking form of anime where a guy all of a sudden stumbles upon
that was earlier
a very a hidden talent that he had.
They're just an average dude. Everything average about them. I mean, it's just a trope in anime and sci-fi in general, like live action sci-fi. Just an everyday Joe. Fucking Transformers.
Cool if I just found out all of a sudden I'm really good at opera.
What?
I'm just really good at opera. Like that's my talent. That's what you're talking about, right?
What? No.
This guy's hot.
Okay, no, I didn't understand. I thought you were talking about fucking your specific hidden talent. I thought you were changing the subject.
No.
Okay. I'm just so confused.
You're too high, Michael.
I'm not too high, dude. I'm putting it down. No, it's usually some fucking more fantastical shit than that. I don't know. Like they're
What's
endowed
more fantastic than being
than
good at opera?
Well, I don't know, man. Fucking.
It's 2 things in one. One, you're great at singing.
Yeah. 3
things. One, you're great at singing. 2, you're great at a form of singing that not everybody can do. It's not something that you see on American Idol. And 3, it's usually in a dead language.
No, they're not in dead languages. They're just in like German and Italian and Russian and shit.
Aren't they in fucking Latin?
Not very many. I doubt any are.
I thought it was all Latin, dude.
No, dude. They're all just singing like Italian and shit. It's Yeah, I mean, we don't fucking understand it, of course. It's a
sounds
dead
like a dead
language
language
to
to
me.
me.
I mean, any language I don't speak, which is all of them. I barely speak English half the time, Chewy. Have I ever talked to you about that? How I feel like language is the only thing that separates us from animals? And that even if you only have one language that you know and you don't know how to speak that language well,
I think about
you
a lot,
might as
Michael?
well be a fucking animal.
You know what I think about a lot?
What's that?
Only about $1,500 separates me from a homeless person. I lose that $1,500 in my job. I'm a homeless person. You ever think about that? Nobody ever thinks about that. Nobody who listens to this podcast has a lot of money in the bank. Think about all the money in the bank right now that you have.
Yeah.
And if you lost it all today, you'd be in the same place as a homeless person.
Yeah.
That freaks me the fuck out. Like, sometimes I'll see homeless people digging through my trash, and I'm like, you fucking scum. And I'm like, I only have like 500 more bucks than you, man.
You know, there's this guy. He used to be one of the water salesman dudes at my work. Now he holds a sign out at the end of the parking lot.
Is he a water salesman or water softener salesman?
No, not the water softener guys.
Okay.
The guys that sell the mobile, or, you know, they deliver the fucking water tank to you. Yeah. You know, I talked to one of those guys, and, you know, it's not the best paying job, but it's not a bad paying job, and they're sending him to fucking different parts of California all the time. I thought he was just, like, at our store, you know, a couple weeks here and there. I didn't realize, or just at one of the other Fresno stores. That guy fucking goes everywhere. But this other guy used to be there with him and used to do the same job, and then all of a sudden we noticed that he stopped, you know, working with them, and then we just saw him in the parking lot all the time. And then his clothes just got dirtier and dirtier, and his hair just got longer and longer, and he started to grow a beard. And then he was like, people would see him like sleeping in his car, and he'd be passed out with bottles next to himself. And then he fucking, like, the car disappeared, and then he was just walking around, and then there was a hole in his pants, but he still had a membership card, and he would buy things occasionally, and you know, usually like chicken or something.
Sure.
And then, you know.
Sustenance.
Yeah, sustenance. And then he would just, like, you know, be there with his hole in his pants and, you know, holding a sign. You know, the other day, though, he just came up to me and told me he's not homeless anymore.
Oh, that's good.
But he still needs to do the sign thing to make ends meet. I don't know why he felt the need to explain all of that to me.
Well, because he was embarrassed, Michael.
I know. Easy. It is sad. Yeah. I think one day when he first started becoming more and more apparently homeless, like, somebody even like called on the radio to, you know, have somebody check him or follow him, and, you know, he got embarrassed, I think, because he had a fucking card and he brought it out to show them, and, you know, maybe that's more embarrassing on us than on him, you know. Fucking judgment, bro.
You're judging people. I mean,
judgment, bro.
People judge people all the time.
I don't know. Did I tell you about the lady with the fucking witch's eye that I had to escort out the fucking store?
Do tell.
I don't know. She tried to go in the entrance, and then...
Are you cursed right now?
Oh, probably. I've been cursed my whole life, Chewy. Goddamn, to BH. But, you know, is there any more hexing than that lady could do that hasn't already been done? You know, that's a question for the philosophers, Chewy.
Go ahead.
I don't know, man.
Whoa!
I don't know what that was.
The lady with the witch's eye. How did you have to escort her?
Oh, yeah.
What was she doing wrong? Why did they want her out?
Well, she wasn't supposed to be in there.
Why?
You can't come in there without a membership. She tried to come in the entrance, and then they came, you know, around the exit, and the guy signaled to me to check her card. And I said, oh, you got a membership? And she's like, well, he told me that I could go to the membership, you know, counter. And I was like, oh, okay. But it was a weird voice, because it was almost like a young boy, like a young, like 13-year-old boy, but it was in a like 50-year-old woman's body with a clear
glass eye.
No, it wasn't like a glass. I don't know how to explain it, dude. It was like this.
Was her eye dead, Michael?
It was more than just a dead eye, man. There was more to it. And she stared at me, And
he said, "Look, lady."
It was the stare.
He said, "Look, lady."
It was the stare.
I've been cursed my whole life. There's no curses you can put on me right now.
Yeah, honestly, though, she looked like she was dressed hip as fuck, dude. She had some, like, chino pants and a crew neck sweater and a beanie. And she went and talked to them, and then the membership people didn't do their job because they just let her walk in after she took an application. And they asked me, "Hey, why'd you let her in?" And I said, "Because anybody can go to the membership counter. It's on you." And then
can't anybody get food too?
Huh? No. You're supposed to have a membership. That is a membership benefit.
Okay.
And that's what pays for the low prices, bro.
I don't know, man. I fell out of love with that pizza recently.
Really?
Had too much of it.
Yeah, I've had too much of that.
Way too much.
Recently, I had a long period where I didn't eat it, but recently, in the past 2 weeks, I've had a slice or two here and there, and I hated it every time.
Yeah, it's not good.
But it's just, I never prepare, dude. It's either don't eat lunch or eat something I regret.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard that. I mean, there's nothing you can buy at lunch either, like at your place.
I can get an acai bowl. It's just too expensive, I think.
How much is an acai bowl?
It's like $4.99 plus tax. I don't know, $5.60. I feel like
pretty expensive.
I feel like that's actually pretty cheap for
when it comes
acai bowls.
But for a lunch. That's pretty cheap.
I guess.
I'm finding myself paying like $13 for lunch.
That's too much, dude.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah, that adds up real quick.
Well, I worked in downtown, and there's not a lot of options downtown.
You need to make yourself some sandwiches,
it's hard.
my friend.
It's hard.
Some fucking chips. Sandwich.
So I used to know a guy. We used to know a guy who used to do that, and we thought he was the saddest man in the world.
No, that's just because he had the same exact
ham sandwich with a small bag of chips.
Yeah.
Every day.
And there's nothing.
What was he saving up for? Marriage?
Just in general.
He's just saving up.
Yeah,
I'm just saving.
Up.
Just saving my money.
What
a fucking idiot.
You're gonna call that
loser.
guy an idiot. Why? Because he didn't want to go to Carl's Jr. with us and spend $8-9?
Look at him now.
What?
He still can't do it. Oh, sorry.
R.I.P.
Well, he's not dead. Let's not say that because people will think that.
About our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I feel bad. I haven't even talked to that guy. I haven't texted him for over a year. It was last Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Let's get back to the nerding out.
Nerding out.
I don't care if you didn't nerd out on anything new. I want you to just tell me something.
Tell you something
that you just know an insane amount about. I know
there's nothing I know an insane amount about.
There's things that you know.
Nah, man.
You didn't even bother to look up something for the podcast?
I think I started to, but I was like, no, I heard that. I had shit that I had saved every now and then, but it was like, man, that shit is now a month old in the news cycle. You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't know. And then I think because my problem is that I was listening to a lot of podcasts recently, and some that I liked, they were into the topics. Well, that's the thing. I heard the same topics on all of the podcasts.
They're all about death.
No, okay. So these were a lot of the podcasts that are kind of more stylized, like ours.
What's the fascination with death?
What's the fascination?
Yeah.
with
Why
death?
does everybody like it? Does everybody like it? I feel like everybody likes it.
A lot of people like it. Some people.
Lester Holt's been talking about fucking dead people for years.
That's the morbid curiosity thing. It's you driving by a car accident and slowing down to look.
I love looking.
Everybody fucking does.
Yeah.
And they want to.
Is it because you want to see your own immortality? Is that what
your
it is?
own mortality?
Mortality, not immortality. Yeah, your own mortality.
Yeah, man.
You want to see it?
No, I think.
So the other day, speaking of mortality, I met a guy at the fair. He had a booth about a year ago, and he got my information because I entered in for a free plot at a
cemetery.
A cemetery.
Why would you enter for that?
Dude, those are expensive.
I know they're expensive,
but
a
lot of fucking.
What cemetery was it?
Belmont. I'll get to that.
Okay.
So, I enter in and I don't win. So the guy calls me and he's being real sketchy. He's like, "Hey, this is so and so with Belmont. Give me a call back." I'm like, "What, Belmont Nursery? What?" I'm in sales. So any call that calls, I'm gonna call back. So I'm like, hey, what's up? This is Chewy with Fresno Football Club. What's going on? Missed your call. He's like, oh, hey, this is so-and-so with Belmont. I met you at the fair last year. You entered in and to win a free burial plot. I was like, oh, yeah. I win? And he's like, no. He's like, no, but I'd love to catch up with you. And I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm going to sell this guy. He wants to sell me, but I'm going to sell him. I was like, yeah, let's meet up. He's like, oh, like he was surprised.
The gauntlet was thrown down?
Yeah, he was surprised I wanted to meet up with him. I'm like, yeah, let's meet up next Tuesday. I'm free around 2. How does that work for you, Frank? His name was Frank. At Belmont. If you need a burial, I'm a very nice man. He can help you. Fresno area.
Oh, I thought this was going to get into a fuck you story.
No. Very nice man. And I go over there, and then I show up, and the ladies are like, hi, can I help you? Because I show up to a cemetery. And I'm like, oh, no, I have a meeting with Frank. And they're like, about what? I'm like, don't know. They're like, you don't know you have a meeting with Frank? I was like, nope. No idea. Is he trying to sell you something? Probably. I don't know. I have a meeting at 2. Is he here? He's not here. So I give him a call. Frank, I'm in the lobby. Where are you at? He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Sanchez. I'm just finishing up over here. I guess he's probably tending a funeral. I don't know what people at fucking cemeteries do. So the guy shows up 20 minutes later, and he's like,
it's a long time for you to wait.
Oh, I was into it, dude. So the cemetery is beautiful. If you've never been to the cemetery by the zoo in Fresno, California, it's like if you've never been to Hollywood Forever Cemetery, or even what's the other one in LA?
I don't remember.
Glen Gardens or something.
Yeah.
If you've never been to either of those beautiful cemeteries, like from the 1900s, those cemeteries hit different, dude.
Yeah,
those cemeteries hit different.
It's the headstones, man.
It's the headstones,
it's the
and
5 foot tall headstones.
The mausoleums. The mausoleums really do it.
Yeah.
So this thing has a tower in the middle of it. That's a mausoleum. It's like a big tower mausoleum. So I'm sitting there asking the ladies all these questions. I'm like, what? Who's the most famous person here? And they're like, oh, well, there's an IndyCar driver from the fucking 70s. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Fucking asking all these questions. Like, I'm being real inquisitive. And he gets there, and he's like, Mr. Sanchez, follow me. I'm like, okay. And then I'm following this guy, and there's an old Cadillac that he's getting into, haunted as fuck looking. Like a 60s Cadillac, black. And he opens the door for me. And I literally say, Frank, I don't know where we're going, but I'm in. And
Whoa, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well, the office ladies already saw you.
Yeah.
Unless they're in on it.
Oh, yeah, it could have been. But that's literally, I saw it, and I was in. Frank had me. I was like, I don't know where you're taking me, Frank. And he kind of like smirked at me like, what's this guy on? What's this guy's angle? Is he going to kill me?
Well, yeah, I mean, because you show up to what's obviously a sale.
Yeah.
But you're acting like you don't know that it's a sale.
I didn't know what it was.
You had to know.
He didn't tell me.
But you knew.
Nah.
You knew.
Nah.
You even started this off with, he's going to try to sell me something, but I'm going to try to sell him.
They didn't need to know that.
I know, but what I'm saying is you knew that it was a sale.
It could have not been.
What would it be? Just to have a beer?
Maybe.
Why? Because you signed up for something and maybe said cool? Something in
Takes
passing
me to the
at
top
the
of
booth?
The tower of the mausoleum? Has a beer with me?
Okay, all right.
Weirder things have happened, Michael. So the guy starts giving me
It's a little weird, Chewy. It's in a cemetery.
The guy starts giving me a tour of this cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
I already know who the most famous guy is.
Yeah.
And I said, who's the most famous guy here? He gives me a different answer.
Oh, yeah. Who was his?
Some guy who was in Western movies.
Oh, cool.
Don't know why he ended up in Fresno. I looked him up later. He has no ties to it. Maybe he just liked the cemetery. Maybe Frank sold him a plot. I don't know. So he's just giving me a whole tour of the cemetery, and he's like, Mr. Sanchez, are you interested in buying anything? Any plot today? And I'm like, you know what, Frank? I'm not. But let me tell you what I got going on at Fresno Football Club. Give him the whole spiel. I'm like, look, dude, you're over here. You're spending a lot of time. You're spending a lot of money to be at the fair. I know how much it costs to be at the It costs a fair amount to be at the fair, Frank. That's what I'm trying to say. It costs a good amount. There's thousands. Am I in the ballpark? He's like, yeah, you're right. It's 2 weeks, though. I'm like, yeah, it is 2 weeks. You're right, Frank. 2 weeks of seeing the same people over and over. I have to tell you, myself, I go about 9 times, and I pay every single time. But sometimes I work in the fair, and I go unlimited times, Frank. Here, you can go to 17 games, and I'll sell you a booth, and I can almost guarantee that they have people who are dying in their family, and they need to buy some plots, Frank. He's like, you right? I was like, let me know. Significantly cheaper than you being at the fair. Pretty sure I'm going to sell them.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. That's I don't know, man. That's an interesting proposition. It's a mutual proposition.
What do you mean?
It's a mutual proposition. He gets something too. He gets access to people.
Yeah, that's what he needs. He's trying to sell something.
Oh, it's
I'm
crazy.
just trying to help him.
I really thought this was gonna go into a weird fuck you story. Like, what'd you expect to bring me out here?
No, dude.
I don't know.
He told me he makes $500 off each plot that he sells.
That's pretty nice.
It's pretty solid. He sells 4 a month. He's an old man. He's not making a lot of money, but he's not.
Yeah.
Not scrimping.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting visit to the cemetery. Beautiful place. But again, it was that weird.
You know what it is?
I was into it.
You know what it is? It's weird how many people were in fraternal organizations at that time.
Oh yeah.
You know,
like
you go to
hedgemen.
Or the woodsmen.
Woodsmen.
You know,
look up the woodsmen on your free time.
Like you go,
just look up the woodsmen. I don't even know what they did. They're fucking woodsmen. They literally were lumberjacks.
They're just a fraternal organization, just like the Elks and the Masons.
Really? Because their fucking things are stumps.
Yeah.
Okay, look up the woodsmen's.
And the Elks have the stag head thing or antlers, and then the Masons have their own.
What am I looking for?
Fucking Mason. You know the fucking Washington Monument. Huh?
What's the word I'm looking for? They're headstones?
Headstones?
What is that? Tombstones?
They're tombstones, headstones.
Okay. Yeah, look those up for all these organizations.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's interesting that there was so many.
There's just this fascination with death. Like, even when I was in New Orleans, everybody goes to the cemeteries. But, I mean, why do you not spend so much time there? It's just fucking cement and old dead people. But it's just fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because when we went to L.A., we went to Hollywood Forever.
I'm a fan of cemeteries. Always have been. They're a fun place. Don't really want to be in one yet, but when I'm ready, kind of want to be in a mausoleum.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my grandfather and his 6 brothers. Had a honorary brother that grew up with them. You know, as their friend. Everybody referred to him as Uncle Chino. And I don't know if I brought this up before, but I have Uncle Chino's ashes. And the brothers were supposed to go down to the river bottom where they all grew up and, like, spread the ashes. And now there's only one of those, you know, brothers still left. And, yeah, man, I'm just, like, needing to do this myself.
Sorry.
I'm going to end up doing this where I'm spreading this guy's ashes at the river bottom.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know you're not supposed to, but people do. Anyways.
Unsanitary. Is it unsanitary or is it clean?
I don't think it's unsanitary.
It's just weird?
No, I think part of it is because with ashes, it's not just pure dust. There's, like, bone fragments, like full-on bone fragments. Though? It's not that it's clean. It's just unaccountable. Like, if everybody was just spreading around bone fragments everywhere, it'd be hard to tell, like, what's from something that like if somebody just came upon a bunch of like fucking teeth or jawbone or something that still didn't burn.
But does it matter?
Huh?
It's clean, right? Or
it's not about that. It's not about the sanitation. It's about like forensics people would be like, okay, is this like a legit death? Is this something that somebody burned and threw out here because they're killing people and burning the bodies?
Doesn't happen at all.
I'm sure that people do.
Sure that never happens.
You never know because they never got caught,
that your body can't burn at the same temperature as the crematory does. It's pretty fucking high.
Nah, man, you get it. You get it. There's certain accelerants.
I'm sure a forensics evidence expert can be like, "Yep, that's from a crematory."
There's some
crematory.
I think it's crematory. Crematory just sounds like a place that makes Oreos and stuff.
They
and
both
I'd
sound
be
delicious.
Down. I'd be down, man.
I'm thinking of them right now, and they both sound delicious. They sound like Doc Bernstein's old-fashioned ice cream place.
Hey, wouldn't that be a cool aesthetic? Like,
wouldn't that be a cool
like
fan fiction
cool...
or a cool book to write?
No.
It's a crematory. But it's an ice cream place by day.
Look.
A cremation place by night. That's how he's making his money.
No. Okay, so you have an aesthetic of a cremation funeral home.
Oh, love it.
But it's an ice cream shop.
Oh, I just fell in love. All the ice cream's black. They were listening to My Chemical Romance. It's a great time. None of that teenagers shit, though.
What?
None of that.
What do you mean?
None of that My Chemical Romance.
Oh, that's
teenagers.
Oh, that's all that it would attract.
No, it's a song. It's terrible.
I don't know. The
it's real
reference.
poppy.
I never. You know, what do you think about that guy in his show, man?
Who?
Gerard Way.
What show? I want to watch it.
He has a new. He had a.
Is it about death?
I mean, some people die.
Ice cream?
No ice cream.
Oh, is it some of his comic book shit?
It's the comic book shit. It's the comic book shit.
I'm out.
Ellen Page, the Umbrella Company, or
the
whatever.
Umbrella Academy.
That's
all about him.
Well, that's not all about him.
Autobiography.
It's
how he got to be so weird.
It's just teen angst X-Men, and it's.
Is he in it at all?
No, he's not.
No, I'm not in.
But I saw a picture of him, and it was him being interviewed in his LA home, and he's got this weird little mustache thing that he grew.
Yeah.
He grew out his long hair again, and he's probably about 30-40 pounds heavier, and he's wearing this big jacket.
That doesn't sound like a lot, but
it's a lot.
When he
I mean, he wasn't. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot for a guy of his frame. And
when skinny people gain weight, they gain weight.
And he's just sitting there, and he just looks like one of those dudes that creep into DMs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like a hoodie. I
see
him in a gray hoodie.
Yeah. It was a hunter green jacket with a hoodie under it, I think. But yeah, it's just he just looks like one of those creep dudes.
Oh.
He just looks like a big old creep.
I'll be real honest with you. I was listening to MCR not too long ago, and love, dude.
Hey, did you ever hear his music or his band that's just called Gerard Way?
I think so. Yeah, they just had.
What do you think of that?
They just did he not have
that? Some of that music's in the show.
Oh, okay. He just released a song, "Haunted House," in October of last year.
Oh, for sure.
It's just him saying, "Baby, you're a haunted house," over and over.
Yeah, I think I saw that
have
video.
Another superstition.
Hey man, I actually dig it. I don't know why.
Fine. It's fine.
I like it. It's not my favorite thing by any
means.
It's just like, okay.
Whoa, a lot of buzzing. Yeah, no.
Oh man,
it's 37 minutes in. This is the real 1 hour.
For sure.
They don't care. They know that we fuck up. They know we're fuck ups.
Hey, has there anybody been that in your personal circle? That
I don't promote this in my personal circle.
Oh, you don't?
Nobody at work knows that I do this.
Really?
No. I mean, they do, but they don't. I don't think they go out of their ways to listen to it, which I appreciate. Well, I'm not into people from work listening to my shit.
I want to shout out to one specific listener, who has been Austin. Yep, Austin has been.
He replies to almost everything that we post.
Yes, and I just want to say, bro,
man,
I appreciate it.
I
appreciate that. You kept my ear in my ear so that I would come back to this.
Just keep Michael coasting.
Coasting. Austin, by the way, I don't understand that screen name. I've always meant to ask you about it. Coastin' Ostin? Is it just close to Austin?
So let's get back to this fucking. I'm enthralled by this ice cream place that's like a cemetery.
Yeah. So you think we should do that,
dude? I think we need to open a business. Like I legit. Like what I do right now is like cool, whatever. I don't want to do this.
Did I tell you that I always wanted to have like a premium PB&J shop?
In today's economy,
has
today's
very
market,
a wide selection of jellies and jams.
No, why not?
Very specific between the two. And
what's the aesthetic of this place? Is it like everything white?
Actually, no, it wasn't everything white. I was actually thinking wood countertops.
Okay.
Kind
so
of wood
real
finish.
Rustic.
Yeah, a little bit more rustic looking.
Rustico.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Get some fancy ass spreading knife on that shit. That's part of the show. the
for
clear
the whole
glass,
accoutrement.
and I'm just like, talking about their day, getting the crunchy or the creamy.
I've never been a fan. Never been a fan of people
PB&J?
asking me how my day's going at those
At
jobs.
places like that.
Like every time I go to Trader
Bros?
Joe's, or Dutch Bros, Trader Joe's, they
do talk to you.
Every fucking time they ask me about my day, but I just heard you ask the other person about their day. Maybe change it up. What are you doing later? What are you doing today? What's going on? Not how's your day going? Because I just heard you say that to the last 4 people.
Oh yeah, no, because you know how fucking many customers I get. I try to change it up in between each person. Hey, what's up? How are you doing today?
Thank you.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, so you're having a barbecue later? Blah blah blah. All that fucking hunky dory shit, Dude,
I just got to
change it up, bro.
I would love to ask them for a swig of the whiskey.
Oh, I do all the time.
I would love to ask them.
Or
for
they
a Coke.
tell me, "Would you like a swig?"
Let me snag one of those slices for later.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Did they ever give you one?
No. Sometimes they'll say, "Hey, you want one of these ice creams?" Or like, which I can't
fucking. To?
No, I can't just let it sit there. Huh?
just eating it there?
Just eating it at the door?
Honestly, like, what would happen?
I would get a write-up.
What does that mean?
I think I got like 2 coming to me that were back to back, like day after day. After my third write-up, I'm suspended.
I'm way too comfortable with my job, dude, because it's like, what's gonna happen? That's just my mentality.
Well, you're at a place that
What are you gonna do?
Get a lot more leeway on that kind of thing.
What are you gonna do? Where are you?
I don't know, man. I think I'm due for my suspension, dude. I think it's gonna come up real soon.
Damn it.
Hey, you know what?
This is because it's not the primo one, dude.
You're always telling me about my audio shit.
It's the microphone.
Oh,
so what happens when you get suspended? You just can't work for the week? That sounds like a horrible.
I know. I actually kind of want that. I mean, I could do without pay for a week. That's cool. Just give me a full week off. I
know you save all your nuts.
Dude, I actually have like 80 hours I need to get rid of before like July vacation. I just, you know what?
Can you take them all off at once?
Last year when it was in the same situation, he said, "Hey, take it all at once. I don't care. Just get rid of it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." But I need some suggestions, man. I don't know what to do with my time off. I think that's why I don't take it. I took Amtrak recently, and it was cool, man. Yeah. I'm thinking
Amtrak's cool.
I kind of wanted. It's all right. I mean, I only took it one way.
If it was cheaper, I would do it.
It was it's $28 one trip to
so round
there.
trip.
So it's
just have that in gas.
Yeah,
and I'll have my car. What are you saving me?
I
don't know what you're saving me.
I don't know, man.
What are you really saving me there, Amtrak? The hassle? Or are you just gonna put me in a cart with fucking loud, stinky people?
Oh, you know what?
What are you gonna do?
There was only one person that was kind of weird. I was looking at this really.
What kind of crowd is this gonna attract, Amtrak?
Well, most of them were.
This
cool
is me talking to the ticket person. Like they control anything. Calling them Amtrak, like as if it's their name. I did look into it because my girlfriend does live in Merced.
Yeah. And
she lives right next to the Amtrak station, and I work right next to the Amtrak station. So I said, wouldn't it be cool if I would just fucking ride my bike from her house to the Amtrak station, put my bike on the Amtrak, go to work, ride my bike to work, and just like not have to worry about having a car.
Yeah.
And it's $200 for the month. Not bad, but they don't have great schedules.
Yeah.
You don't get until 10 in the morning, which is completely fine with my job. But what if I want to get there earlier? What if I need to get there earlier? What if we have a meeting or something? Yeah. And then they don't have ones that go late at night. And a ride on an Uber all the way over there is like $70.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of
Uber.
Uber.
You ever done that? Yeah.
No, fuck no. I don't have the money for that. Speaking of Uber, I did Uber Eats or GrubHub or whatever the fuck I did.
Postmates, one of those.
Did one of them.
Yeah.
I ended up paying $8 in fees for 2 ice creams.
We talked about
this.
We did
talk about
podcast,
this.
And
so
you
then
said
I watched
that was worth it for you.
I watched a video of a guy who did it for 3 days to see if you made money as the driver.
Yeah.
They don't make any money, dude. Like, it's very hard to make money doing that. Like, I don't understand why people are doing it.
My one of my coworkers is working for DoorDash and
he's barely
Postmates.
covering his gas expenses.
No, he likes it. He loves it.
Really?
Yeah, he says he's making an extra. I mean, he's making an extra $1,000 a month.
Do you think he's calculating his gas though? I could see people fooling themselves.
You know, he could be fooling himself. But what I thought was crazy was like
when I used to flip shit from
like
thrift stores, I'd be like, "Oh, I made $300 today." Well, how much did I spend on that stuff, and how much back stock do I have?
Yeah,
that won't sell.
Yeah.
I think that in the end, when I got over doing that,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure it was still over. I'm sure it was still
a little bit on top,
but not by much.
Yeah, became more of a hobby.
It was more. I mean, it's more of a collection that I've kept all of it. Like, I was just telling you how much all these records are worth. Am I going to sell them? Fuck no.
Were you buying those to flip them, or were you buying those to enjoy?
Either or. I justify the purchase.
You just don't have a clear reason why you're buying it then.
To listen to them.
So it's for you.
But if I need to sell them, I can. The other day I got real sad, like legit sad. One time I was working at Barnes & Noble with a real nice English fellow named Keith. Keith was a guitar player. I was a guitar player. Keith knew how much I loved playing guitar. He loved playing guitar. Keith had money. His wife had a lot of money, and I think he was a retired fellow. He just worked there for the discounts. He said, "Chewy, I have a Fender Stratocaster that if you want it, I'll sell it to you real cheap." I said, "Really, Keith? How much?" $300. And I was like, deal. A Fender Strat, no matter what kind of Fender Strat, is worth that kind of money. He brings it to me. He just described it in words, and I was in. He brings it to me. It's a fucking Texas Special Fender Strat with a tortoiseshell fucking pickguard. Beautiful. Had a humbucker. The whole nine. It was beautiful. I'll bring it home. At the time, I want to play heavy music. This is not going to give me a heavy sound. This is going to give me a country sound. What'd I do with it? Sold it.
How much did you make on it?
Probably like a couple hundred more than what I got it for. Probably sold it for $5. That's not the point. I did sell it for $5 because I sold it to buy the fucking Gibson that I don't like because it's one of the cheaper Gibsons. You can tell it's one of the cheaper Gibsons. And I had something special, and I fucking flipped it and got something generic. That's the typical fucking Chewy Sanchez story for you. But yeah, so that's my story on flipping. What were we talking about?
I don't know, dude.
We were talking about the records, the guitar. We can easily go back if we want to.
I don't want to go back.
Let's go back. Let's get back to it because we found out what we were talking about. Your friend is making money off of GrubHub, whatever.
He's making money off of DoorDash and a little bit of Postmates. He switches back and forth, but mostly
when does
DoorDash.
He do it? At night?
He does it during the day before he starts his shifts because, he comes in later to close. Like, so, he'll start at like 10 a.m., do it for like 2 hours, and then head to work and then do his actual job. And
sounds exhausting, dude.
I don't know. I don't think he would be doing anything else during that time is the thing. Like, I think he didn't, he's not going to be chilling at home.
Okay.
His wife's probably at work. He just like has that time. So he just like goes and does it. He likes it. I guess it fills up part of his time, and he's like, making $1,000-$1,500 extra a month. But
that's a lot of money.
It is. But I saw what he's driven extra because he has an app that tracks. It like connects all of his apps that he uses to work, and it also tracks his driving with his GPS so that he can use that as a tax write-off. And it's just like, wow, since January you threw on an extra like 1,000 some miles onto your vehicle that's just specifically from the app. That's just all 1,000 miles extra inner city driving on top of his regular driving.
What if you just got a beater? Or you owned a beater.
Yeah.
Can you drive a beater with those things, or they require
with,
a nicer
like,
car?
Postmates and stuff? No.
They don't care?
No, they don't care about that.
What if you had a bike?
There are bike messenger Postmates workers and stuff in the inner city.
Okay.
Like in the big cities, like I saw some on BART. Like they carry these bags these like backpack things that are bigger and insulated and keeps the food either hot or cold. And they deliver by bike in a lot of the bigger cities.
What if we did this? What if we tried this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It requires you doing work, Mike. So I don't know if you're gonna like it.
I don't like it. If this has to do something with me oiling down some heavier, greasier, fucking hairier version of myself in 20 years, I don't want to do it, Chewy. I just won't. I don't go down that path.
What if you did Postmates for a day and then just came back and reported what you found?
Oh, no, I did want to do that because he actually sent me a text. That's why I asked him about it. He sent me a referral text. Like, I think he did it on accident.
What if he just went full fucking...
DoorDashing all the time?
No. What if he just went full fucking gonzo journalism? And just
no, I've wanted to do that.
Just come here and report on it. That's what you could.
You know what? I mean, honestly,
that's what you could
do.
You know
how we were talking about, like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? And I don't want to do anything. I think that's what I want to do. Is just, but not for a long time.
Renaissance man.
Not for a long time. I just want the experience of the situation. I don't want to devote years to something.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a taxi driver. Yeah, not because I wanted to drive a taxi.
I don't know, man.
I just wanted to know what people,
because I wanted to do the Uber thing for a minute, and I feel
like you'd be a great Uber driver.
No, I would probably take the wrong way a lot of the time.
You're following a map.
I feel like this map doesn't
There's
know.
There's old people who do this, man.
I know.
The next, okay. So I want this segment.
Yeah.
Tiki Mike gets a job. Tiki Mike tries a job. I don't know what it's going to be called.
How do you even set something like that up?
I feel like we could get pretty big with that because we can give a full fucking review of what it's like for you to do that job. People watch that video of that guy doing. He wasn't even good at making videos. It's just pretty terrible video. But I was watching an 18-minute video to see all of his DoorDashes.
You know what I want to do?
What?
Okay. Shout out to Kim and her new restaurant, Libalula Fresno, at the Crest Theater area, or it's in the Crest Theater. Just opened this restaurant. Check it out.
The Thrift Demon?
No, next to the Thrift Demon.
There's nothing near the Thrift Demon.
Yes, it's there.
It's in the Crest Theater?
I don't know. It's there at the Crest Theater
or
next to it. I'm not sure. It's part of the same building.
To the if you're facing the Crest Theater, it's to the right. If you're facing away from the Crest Theater, it's to the left.
I haven't been there. I'm just saying, like, hey, that would be a cool opening segment to this. Is Tiki Mike becomes a chef for the day and just learn how to make one meal there. And it's just me there working as a chef for the day. You know, that would be dope.
I think you
should.
Just
to explain the situation. I mean, that would be a cool
Can you sign
day.
up right now? Can I see your phone? I'll sign you up.
Sign me up
to
for
be
what?
a DoorDash driver.
No,
they'll
man,
send you the whole
way
kit right
too
now.
Much time. We're not going to do that on the fucking podcast.
It doesn't take that long. I think that's your problem. Your problem is you think things take too long when they don't.
Things take a long time.
It takes about 5 minutes to become a DoorDash driver.
No, I could do that.
Are you going to do it?
Maybe.
I would love to hear like what people's weird orders are.
Oh yeah.
And just like the weird requests that you get.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's not a lot, but when they finally do come.
Yeah, so I mean it seems pretty cool. Like he just has this like most of the orders are already paid for through the app.
Or you get the card.
Or
I already
you get
saw
the
it
card.
on the fucking YouTube video.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, man.
You get the
maybe not all the listeners watch your YouTube video, bro.
You get the prepaid card. It has a couple million views. I'm sure they've all seen it.
You think they all saw it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I really want you to try it, and then I want you to be an Uber driver too.
I don't want to be an Uber driver.
I want you to try it for a day.
My car's not clean enough to be an Uber driver.
I'll clean your car.
We
know a guy. We know a guy. Shout out to Nasty Steven and Nasty Steven's upholstery service. Because I feel like if I give him a shout out, he might do your car for free.
He doesn't detail.
Yes, he does.
No.
He has a mobile detailing unit. He puts it on his fucking Snapchat. Hit me up if you want a detail.
Steven.
Nasty Steven.
Our Steven.
Yes.
That's been on the podcast.
Yes.
No.
He has this bucket of fucking chemicals, and he's asking if you want your car detailed. What the fuck else is he doing with the bucket of chemicals?
I follow him on Snap.
Well, you're not watching him.
This was like a year ago, bro, when he was detailing at a place.
You think if you don't He's asking if people want the service.
He doesn't.
He wants to make money.
I think he would still be asking. He quit that when he quit the place.
Steven, if you want to detail Michael's car, I'll pay you.
Hey man, I just need to get some stains out in the upholstery.
So yeah, you really do. I need to give a shout out. I'm sorry, I've been on this.
Why have you been putting up this video?
Dude,
this is
I have
the
no
third
idea.
or fourth time.
No idea. But I had to give a shout out. So, while I'm looking for this.
Yeah, so if anybody else has some jobs or some access to their jobs, and you want me to job shadow, that would be dope. I would like to learn just for the day. I will try to take it as professionally as I can.
And that's the thing. Not a lot of these jobs you can get without like a background check or anything other than.
Well,
like,
I mean, these would be
GrubHubs
all no pay situations. I mean, fucking. I'm sure they let the fucking kids, the kindergartners, make their pizza at Me and Ed's. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Have you ever thought about how disgusting that was?
I did not know we can make people's pizza.
No, I mean, like, they always did that in elementary. You never went to Me and Ed's in a field trip and made your own pizza?
No.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you missed out, dude. Like, they let us go into that little kitchen and pick our toppings and throw it on there, and then fucking, like, I mean, our toppings, I think, were the choices between pepperoni and olives, or that was probably it. But the only thing that's kind of disgusting, I mean, I think all the kids did have to wash their hands before, but yeah, it's still just the thought of everybody putting their hands in that little cheese dish, putting their hands.
So I had to say sorry. Daniel Torres, that I work with him. He works with Fresno Football Club. He does woodworking on the side. He made me these cool little coasters that look like pallets.
Yeah, that's cool.
He gave it me at a fucking great price. And he said if I give him a shout out on the podcast that he would give them to me at that price. I'm giving you a shout out. Daniel, I don't know what your woodworking company is called. I'm trying to look it up. I don't want to delay the listeners, so I'll give you another one once I know what it's called. But if you're looking for custom woodwork, I told him to build me a pedal board because right now I'm using these fucking wooden planks that I found probably in the dumpster. If you want woodwork, Daniel Torres 17 on Instagram. I'm not sure if he takes all requests. If you want to make some weird dominatrix thing, I don't know if he can really do it for you. But I mean, it's worth asking to see if he could build you one of those kneeling boards or something.
Money talks, bro.
Money does talk. We're heading into the hour mark, and I just want to see if there's anything else you want to talk about.
Nah, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Till next time.
I miss you guys. That's about it. I just want to say that.
Goodbye.
I'm talking to the listener.